Hey, welcome to the Art of Relationship Show, people. It's going to be, hopefully, it is going to be a fun show. Like I said, this is the Art of Relationship Show, and gonna have maybe, I don't want to debate that type of stuff. I hate politics, but what happens when you and your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, that type of situation, that you are different when it comes to politics, and this time of election years, you go nuts. You attack each other, and it creates a lot of not only debates but arguments and fights, and you don't feel loved. You feel disrespected because of those differences. And we're going to get into it's National Orgasm Day. So what better time than to spend it right here with live Q&A on the Art of Relationship Show. So don't go anywhere, people. Don't go anywhere. Be right here, right after this. Cool. Welcome back to the Art of Relationship Show. And hopefully that did not blow your eardrums out. I was like, holy crap. Mostly maybe on TikTok, I think, would hear it. That might have blew your eardrums out a little bit. Okay. So I apologize for that. I thought the volume was adjusted, but it's not. Welcome, everybody. Rochelle, what's happening? Quentin. Woohoo. When you talk about, the political circus monkey show that's going around out there, how many people are in a relationship or have been married and one is a Democrat, one is a Republican, that type of situation, and you just, let's face it, you fight, you argue, you can't even talk about this. Well, a lot of people can't talk about it, right? Because they have a hard time maybe looking at facts. They believe somebody that might be lying, that type of situation. And we'll get on later on, okay? We're going to be talking about it's National Orgasm Day. How many people are getting theirs? With yourself or with a partner, okay? And for those people that don't know, this is, like I said, the Art of Relationship Show. And I am Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor. Actually, next week will be 22 years I've been doing this professionally. And I'm a relationship and sex specialist. Also, a lot of grief and a lot of trauma experience as well. So I'm bona fide, I'm legit. Am I perfect? No. Do I know everything? No. Do I know a lot? Yeah, a little bit. So I want to help people go after love, go after their heart and their soul dreams. Again, nothing is perfect, not at all, but to become more connected, maybe laugh more in your relationship. That's what I want. That's what I try to promote. So, not only with the topic about the political aspect going on in the world and it's heated up, right? You can ask any questions you want regarding relationships, dating, marriage, sex, that type of situation. I'll do the best I can answer. And a disclosure I have to make is that this does not replace the actual professional counseling I do in my office, okay? So because of confidentiality, HIPAA, those type of situations. Hey, Noah, Vanessa, I appreciate you tuning in. So get your questions ready, and I will do the best that to answer them, okay? Like I said, I promote self-love. I promote self-respect. I promote, love and compatibility. I promote genuineness, honesty, full transparency in a relationship or marriage. I also promote mutual respect, common courtesy, taking each other into consideration. And again, all those things can be different for each individual and each couple out there. It's not, necessarily according to me because I'm a professional or anybody else, any other professional. And it's not, no one's to deem what type of relationship you want or what is healthy, what is good for you out there. As long as it's consensual, you both agree somewhat, okay? So, again, throw out your questions up above, down below, sideways, wherever you're listening to or watching from. And I'll do the best I can to answer your questions. So, how many people out there have opposing views politically? And a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family, they can't even talk about it. Hey, why do you like so and so? Why do you like so and so? And they have a hard time. They'll turn into an argument. They'll turn in there. But when you look at facts, nobody wants to look at, what are the facts? What are the records? Who's lying? Who's not lying? Right? Both sides, let's face it, are not all that great when it comes to that. But we look at what is best. What promotes peace? That's what I'm all about. What promotes peace? What promotes happiness, to be able to look at, in the relation, or, in life, in America, those type of situations. Okay. So, get your questions out, and I'm going to try to help. And lately I've been having people opposing views where they feel like if they don't, how can I say this? If one doesn't believe what the other one believes politically, that they don't feel loved, they don't feel respected, they don't even feel liked. It gets to that level, and I've been seeing an increase of that in my office. And it's looking at, or maybe you were the same and then one change, you both change, that type of situation down the road. And how do you, even politically, right? Even with any opposing view you have in a relationship, in a marriage, that type of situation, how do you handle it? How do you look at those situations to, okay, we're different. How do we still show each other we love each other? How do we still show each other we respect each other? Now, it's very difficult, right? When it comes into what's important to you, when it comes into freedom of choice, when it comes into women's rights, when it comes into, if it's about racism, discrimination. People talk about the border issue, but also what made it worse, those type of situations. But a lot of people don't even want to get into that. So that's where I want people to be able to look at what is happening, what is going on in a relationship. Okay. Hey, Lou, what's happening, man? So those are, like any other disagreement, unless it comes to a point where you feel so disrespected and you feel berated, degraded, like anything else, right? It could be no more situations as far as maybe one person always sticks up for her or his mother and never sticks up for the partner. Okay. Omar, what's happening? So, it's those type of situations, and it comes down to, can you live with somebody that has a different belief than you politically, or can you be okay with that? And I deal with this one. One is definitely this way, and they berate and they do. I said, why do you have to belittle, degrade, rip each other apart emotionally, verbally, call each other names because you disagree about this? You can disagree about your favorite TV shows, right? A little banter back and forth is good. It can be funny, joking around, but those are the situations to where, not get into degrading, belittling, those type of situations. Can you talk about, hey, why do you like this candidate? Why do you like this candidate? And get into, maybe what one stands for, what they don't stand for, that type of situation. Like I said, me personally, I hate politics, okay? I want what's best for the country, what's best for the people, what promotes people to be able to, prosper, to go after dreams, to go after, those type of things. And what work, I'm also for the work ethic. I'm all about, trying to work hard and obtain those goals, not just to be lazy, no work ethic, that type of situation. Ehab, what's happening, my man? Woohoo! David, appreciate you tuning in. So again, throw your comments down below, and you can, you can, you know, about dating, about anything else. How many people have an issue when it comes into not only politics, right? That you disagree. What about religions? And maybe, you know, politics, religion. Is there any other type of situation, right? And um, is that going to be helpful, right? Not necessarily, right? So that's where I want people to be able to look at and to go after. And if you want to let your friends, family, maybe you're listening to or watching on Instagram, I accidentally shut that off. Oops, my bad. So, not to be disrespectful, not at all. So, I want people to be able to look at, any type of difference. And I know it's heated with politics, politics, religion, that type of situation. Hi, Carrie. Hey, what's happening? I want people to be able to understand how you can handle it and still feel respectful, that you can understand each other. Doesn't mean you have to agree. You still feel respected and you feel understood. And now you have to look at, now where do you go from there? Okay. And it gets so ugly, and I don't want it to, but you look at certain beliefs that it is that you can live with and not, right? And this goes, like we're talking about political candidates, we're talking about, women's rights, we're talking about pro-choice, pro-life, that type of situation. Can you live with the partner knowing how strongly, or you're vehemently opposed or for a certain situation, even if you still love each other? That's what I want, right? And this goes to any other situation. It could be religions. And I talked about this. One could be atheist, and the other one could be a devout Christian. And they get along. They respect their differences, know how they're going to raise the kids, that type of situation, respect each other's beliefs, and they get along fine. But to another one, they that's a deal breaker. Okay, so with this political climate, say you're dating somebody and you've been dating for a while, and all of a sudden, it's never come up. Now it's a political season, and you talk about, oh yeah, I love Trump, and you're like, oh my God, how can you love him? He's lying, he's manipulative, all this stuff. And how could you love, Kamala and all this stuff, right? And it goes back and forth. Now, is that a deal breaker? And there's people, right? I've heard it on dating sites, dating apps. I've heard it all over. I will not, a diehard liberal. I will not a liberal. I will not, date a Trumpster. All this aspect, and that's fine. But does it come down to compatibility? Does it come down to, what's important to you? Or is that something that you can, peacefully disagree on and still live your life and still be happy together, right? And that is the question a lot of people look at. And again, it's not a right or wrong, not at all. It's looking at, how you can live with that situation. And it goes with, religions too, right? People ask me, hey, what do you want? What are you for? What are you against? That type of situation. And I'll be open and honest. And I want people to understand, how do you debate that? Do you even have to debate it? Or can you even have that discussion about what works best for you and what works best for your family? Or is that something, hey, we can disagree? That's what I promote, if possible, to be able to, still have a peaceful, healthy, loving environment and household. Some people can't because they get into berating, they get into bullying their partner, they get into mocking, belittling, they try to threaten their partner. Um, with certain things, right? If you don't vote for whatever, I'm not giving you sex, or, I've heard all kind of stuff. So it's looking at how you want to live your life and what are your thoughts on this? So, again, throw out your comments, your questions down below. And The art of, if you want to say, art of relationship show, the art of relationships is my counseling business. So, you look at how is the, how do you learn, how do you skillfully increase, evolve your ability, your art form to debate, to disagree peacefully. And it's very difficult when one person might be very easy to anger, blow up, and the other one might be, we'll say, more rational. And it's not a woman, man, it's not those type of situations at all. Hey, Brittany, what's happening? Again, share the episode on your timeline, on your page, wherever you're watching it, and throw your comments out there. I want to do the best I can to help as many people out there through your struggles, through your relationship challenges, right? So that's where, trying to self-soothe and trying to look at, hey, why am I taking this poorly? Why do I feel attacked? Why am I feeling like I'm, being ripped apart unless you are? Hey, I think this and I disagree with your belief, or I disagree with, what you think. And all of a sudden someone, and that's not being disrespectful. That's not being rude. Not at all. But some people will blow shit. Let's be honest, okay? They'll blow up and they'll be in a situation where, oh my God, I don't feel loved. I don't feel, respected. You were rude. You were mean. How can, I was mean by saying I disagree with you? No. Now, if I was calling you names, yelling, screaming, throwing an anger tirade, that's being rude. That's being disrespectful. I don't want that. But that's where I want to help couples to get to a point where you can disagree, unless it's something that is very, it cuts across your values, right? And that is very difficult. And, every episode I talk about, one thing would be one wants a kid, the other one doesn't. That's a big deal, right? How do you can't compromise that. One wants monogamy and the other one wants open relationship or be swingers. That you can't compromise, right? So it's very difficult when someone's trying to bully, trying to push someone to go against their values, to go against what they believe in, instead of, is it to get them to feel, you really love me if you change your mind? Or what would that do to yourself if you sell yourself out with your values and what you believe in? And believe me, it's very hostile in the political environment going on. I don't want that. I want peace. Can you talk about the real issues and talk about, what's important to you, not rumors? No offense on social media, right? One person doesn't even want to listen to the other one because whatever you have to say is rude, right? Everybody, what you're saying is, a lie. I'm not going to even listen to you because you're a liberal. I'm not going to listen to you because you're a Republican, right wing, left wing, that type of stuff. And they can't even work together. They can't even discuss it because they automatically have tunnel vision, and, it's just blinders on. And how many people are very stubborn? They won't even look at the facts. It's, let's face it, we could get into a tirade on this type of situation, right? Now, that's not what it's about. It's about how can you disagree and you still love each other. You're both maybe good people, hopefully, not necessarily, but is this something that can create a huge ordeal in your relationship or in your marriage? And not only that, it's when you can't talk about it. You're degraded, you're belittled. And it's one of those situations, oh, we broke up because we have different views politically. That could be a deal breaker. I'm honest. It could be, right? I don't decide that. Each individual decides that. Not only that, but not only is that a deal breaker, or is it how it's discussed, how it's handled? Do you disrespect one another? Do you bash each other, like I said? Do you degrade, belittle? And it goes on, and you just rip each other apart. You make each other feel small. You make each other feel less than a person because of those political beliefs. Now, is that the reason it causes the end of a marriage or the end of a relationship? And that's one thing that, hey, we respect, we have different views. I just feel very strongly, and I can't live with somebody that is like this or that believes in this. It could be anything, right? I can't be with someone that wants an open relationship. I just don't believe in that type of situation, right? And is it more of a value judgment? Is it more of your own beliefs and values that causes the demise? Or is it something that you can work through and respectfully disagree? I would love that. Absolutely. But again, I don't decide that. I help couples get to that situation. Okay. Now, throw your questions out there. Please throw them up there down below. Anything I can do to help your dating life, relationship, marriage, sex, whatever I can do to help people out there. So please throw your questions out there and I will do the best, like I said, to answer them. Okay. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, it is National Orgasm Day. How many people knew that, right? A lot of people don't even look at that and, didn't even know that. Well, I'm throwing it out there now, and I posted it on some social media stuff earlier today, this morning. And talking about National Orgasm Day, what is the most powerful orgasms you've had? Is it when you feel emotionally connected? Is it all about teasing, building up to it, and then you like a volcano, right? Or is it just physical for you? Some people, everybody assumes men are this, women are that. Not at all. I look at, what is orgasm? Maybe orgasm's not important to you. Said maybe no. I'm teasing. Said nobody, right? No. But looking at, if it's not important to you or if it is, it's sort of, the old adage, right? Women try to tell their man, oh, it's not important. I didn't come. I didn't have an orgasm. But if a man didn't have an orgasm, the female partner will flip out, right? Oh my God, I didn't turn you on. You don't desire me. I'm not good enough for you. You think I'm ugly. You think I'm this. And maybe stressed, maybe tired, right? So, so I wish I had that problem, but look, about anyways, about lasting too long, right? So it's ironic how I'm not into double standards, but I'm looking at, are you able to even talk about orgasms, right? Are you able to talk about what position or what you're doing, if it's oral sex, if it's whatever, man behind, woman in front, woman on top, woman, underneath, whatever position gives you the best orgasm. Is it the position or is it the mindset that you're in? Is it the connection that you're in? And are you able to even talk about it? And I'm not talking about being so goal oriented. That's what we're after. That's what we're after, right? Because more pressure you put on yourself and each other, right? Chances are it's going to go sideways and it's going to be sort of like unfulfilling instead of focusing on it. Yeah, I'd like this next time. I'd like that, or even in the moment, that's great. But are you focusing more on the connection and the enjoyment of the sexual experience? Or is it so goal oriented that you lose that connection and you lose that fire? You lose the passion. You lose the electricity between you two. Even, able to talk about it where, even through self-pleasure, right? Are you able to learn through self-pleasure what you like? How do you want to be touched? Can you teach your partner that, right? And it's not, it's different, feels different hands, fingers, maybe toys, those type of situations. But what gets you so excited and what brings you the most fulfilling orgasms, if that is important to you? And not only that, are you able to talk about it? Are you able to even discuss those type of situations? And there's still a lot of people out there, they've been married 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, and they still cannot openly talk about sex. I mean, with each other, right? And it's sad for me. And I'm like, why is it still taboo talking about those aspects? You can talk all you want about parenting, your beliefs, your, whatever, right? But when it comes into sex, people shy away, right? About their desires, about their wishes, about what they crave. Hey, I'd love it when you do this. I'd love it if you do that. And some people are open. They're free about it. I call them sexually mature when you're able to talk about those situations. And I know that term mature might not sort of ring a bell. Or would you rather hear the term sexually confident versus sexually not confident, sexually insecure, right? Whatever term you want to look at, I'm looking at what would it take for you to have the most explosive orgasms, right? And part of them, it could be, let's face it, health reasons, right? It could be, everybody's heard of Kegel exercises, or people say Kegel, exercises, those type of situations to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles. And there's a bunch of them, and even for men. Absolutely, right? So you look at, what does fulfilling orgasm means for you. Maybe you can have a little one, but you felt so connected that was important to you. Some people could have an explosive multiple orgasms, right? Ladies out there, and you love it, and your toes are curling, your whole body shakes, and you can't move. I joke around, it's like you have sea legs if you've been on a boat for a long time, right? Or a cruise, you have those sea legs. Are they sea legs or are they sex legs, right? So those situations, and what is important to you, and what helps you even discuss it within yourself if you're shy about it, to be able to talk with your partner. And I get that, a willing partner, right? But sometimes we can be open and talk about anything about when it comes into intimacy, improving our orgasm. But this is also about, what if your partner is shy, can't talk about it, shuts it down? I don't like talking about it. And they shut it down, and you can't even discuss it. Is that a deal breaker? We talked about, political opposites earlier, but is that a deal breaker if you can't even discuss, what orgasms are to you, what they mean to you, if they're important, if they're not important, the intimate, the sexual connection, those type of situations, and what brings you. There's so many factors, and a lot of, let's face it, men might look at, it's a step 1, step 2, step 3. And a lot of us in the field, you talk about the step or the ladder plan. It's like, first step is this, second step, you're climbing up the ladder, right? Or up the stairs, and it's a step by step, versus, is it more circular, round? It's not step by step or linear. I'm going to touch her there, kiss her there, kiss him there. It's, looking at, circular, that you can enjoy it. You can be sensual. You can go, go after the connection so much, and it doesn't have to be so goal directed. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding it. Well, isn't that the point of sex? It might be for some people. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but what about the connection? Oh, that I came. Great, terrific. Did you still feel connected? Did you still feel maybe love, desire? Did you feel, or was it like, people out there that just might have, I'm not in the mood, but I'm going to shut him up or shut her up? The obligation sex. Ugh. How many people actually have a powerful orgasm doing an obligation sex, right? Most people don't. Your partner might, but you're like, hurry up, get it over with, right? And if they don't feel that disconnect, they don't feel that that's missing, are they even lying to themselves? Or are they even paying attention? Or number 3, do they even care? And that's one thing I want people to be able to talk about. Man, I felt disconnected. What do you mean? And some people don't even have a clue. right? And it could be, maybe our own genetic makeup, biological, how our own, biochemistry in the brain works. Sometimes it's, maybe how we're raised and, shutting the emotions down, that type of situation. And some people just might have something missing where they can't even, they don't even know what emotional connecting is, that it's just physical and that's all it is. And those are the type that you tend to, something's missing, right? You can have a great orgasm like we're talking about, but you're left feeling empty. You're left feeling, oh, that was great, great, terrific, sexual experience, but something's missing. Man, I'm still craving something. And a lot of times it might be because, was it just out of obligation? Was it your partner wasn't truly fully present in the moment? There was no eye to eye contact, no kissing. There was no, maybe if you like verbal stuff, some people don't want any verbal stuff. So those are situations where I want you to talk about and to openly, hey man, I'd like us to have more powerful, fulfilling orgasms, right? What would that mean for you? What does it take? What really gets you going, gets you hot? And it's a difference between, let's face it, you can have an orgasm, oh, that was fine, versus, oh my God, going nuts, toes curl, calves all tightening up, your buttocks, cramping because you're all clenched from a powerful orgasm, right? So those are things I want you to be able to talk about. Is it going to be that way all the time? No, I want people to be realistic, right? We're tired, maybe stressed about money, kids, finances, stressed about politics, stressed about people losing jobs, getting fired, those type of situations. And it's very difficult. It's not going to be 24/7, but I want you to be able to have that open communication in that you show your partner, you pay attention, that you care about what your partner is feeling, thinking, going through, not only during sex or pre sex, but what about on a daily basis? What are you doing to show that person that? And the more connected you are, guess what? It tends to be more fulfilling the orgasms are, the more fulfilling the sex is. And like I said, some people might not care if they have an orgasm. They're worried about being close and being connected. Awesome, right? Again, it's being able to talk about it and being open and honest. If orgasms are important to you, don't lie to your partner and say, no, they're not. I could care less. Don't lie about it, okay? Be open and honest. And a lot of people, I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to cause an argument. This is part of being, when I talked about being, emotionally mature or emotionally confident, that you can talk about anything and everything. And yes, even orgasms, okay? So I am going to say good night. I'm going to, a little early. It's been a long, long day for me. So I'm going to say good night a little bit early. Make sure you check out all the episodes are probably the easiest, and I mention this every episode, is on YouTube. Probably the quickest way to find them at LoveGuruGreg. You can follow me all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, of course, TikTok. Hey, TikTok people. LinkedIn, X, which anyone, I don't know if they're still using that or not. At LoveGuruGreg, you can check them out. My profile above gives my website, theartofrelationships.org. And as always, let's keep promoting love and let's stop hate out there. Stop hate, racism, discrimination. And let's keep promoting peace and respect and tolerance for differences in our lives, okay? Take care, everybody. Peace. Bye-bye.